And we are live. Welcome, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Today we're talking all about morality, in particular why religious morality may fail and why secular morality, in our opinion, seems to succeed. So today I'm joined by Nick.
Let's start then. So the provocative title of the presentation is Why Religion Morality Fails, and why I think atheist morality is the only real and viable morality in current society. First of all, the motivation is I hear many theists, many religious people say that atheism is something that makes people crazy, like they can do whatever they want. They can rape, kill, and steal, and other stuff. And the atheists are sometimes defensive, sometimes are agnostic, and they say, well, we really don't know exactly what our morals are based on, what's happening, why. And they say, no, no, we are good people. We are not bad people at all. Just talk to us and you will know why. But I don't feel it's right. I strongly believe, I'm sure that uh, the morality comes from people and it's built from generation to generation. And I will discuss how exactly in this presentation. And at the beginning, I will share a couple of examples how I was taught when I was a child. I was given very many moral values and teachings, things that were repeated to me many, many times, one after another, in different situations, in sayings, in poetry. For example, one of the first that come to my mind is if you walk a path and you see a gold, if it's not yours, you should step over and go further. You have to work hard to get anything. You have to study, you have to get education, and without it you won't be successful in life. You will not be able to build your happiness. And you have to be ready to do any kind of work, not just something that you enjoy. You have to be truthful, you have to be honest, and you have to have integrity. On lies you can go around the world, but you will never come back. You can build castles, but they will not be steady. And I also was taught the value of life, not only life of people, but life of animals, life of plants. For example, if you tear this flower and everybody else comes to this field and tears these wildflowers, you will have deserts here. And other many things like that. My father told me stories how he saved people's life on water when people were drowning, and sometimes he risked his own life to rescue other people. And my father was a free thinker. He never was religious, and we actually were brought up in a country that wasn't wasn't religious at all. So at my childhood, I was taught values of truth, development, education, and then I could decide for myself whether there was God or not. And I had, if I were to picture how morality works and how it is transmitted from people to people, from generation to generation, I would draw it like this. The morality is given to a person by his parents. Then when we grow up, we are more influenced by society, by extended family, by friends and other guys. And if we are proactive, we can influence society then in the future. We can give this feedback. And this goes on from past to future, and the morality is evolving, it's changing, and it's generally improving. And we'll discuss this further in more details. To my mind, it's useful to divide morality into big categories. The first one is micro-morality, It's individual level, mostly at family level. It's everyday values, everyday guiding principles for everyone. We do our things having these morals, having these inner values that guide every step of our way, every decision we make from day to day. Then mixing together families and a lot of individuals, we get the next level of morality, which is used to be tribe, now it's more society, country level, and higher up humanity level. And we'll discuss these levels further. First, we'll start with individual morality. So every person makes moral decisions every day. You see a watch in a hotel or a very expensive jewelry, somebody lost it, and you decide what to do with it. If you're a moral person, you will first think to try to do find the real owner of this. And very many things like that every day happen to us. And I argue that most of all, you decide based on what you were taught by your parents. Then, when you grow older, you are more influenced by society, by environment, by laws, by tradition, by religion. And if you are proactive, when you're adult, when you're mature, you can decide to change your way. If one of your values is change, is improvement, is education, then you're more willing to find better morals. Based on your experience, based on your thinking, based on books, you can change up to 100% of your morals. That also, of course, that's an extreme case, but the more open you are, the more you can change. And on the other side of the spectrum is someone completely passive who has steadiness as his value, and he says, okay, I'm this way, I base my moral on the teachings, I base my moral on this book or that book, and I will never change. I will never accept any argument. I will never accept any new evidence. I will never accept any new experience. If I experience problems, then that experience is wrong. If I see people with other opinions, then those opinions are wrong. And it's very important to understand that our values are hierarchical. We may have the same values, but some of them are higher for one person, are lower for another person. And I will discuss it here in more details. Everything that is told to us by our parents, especially in very young age, is scripted in very, very deep layers of our mind and our subconsciousness. Many things we even don't realize. Our parents used to tell us when we were very young, when we were in bed at night and our father or mother was holding our hand, we felt very safe and secure. And he was talking, or she was talking to us about things. We were remembering those things, imagining them, thinking about them when we were falling asleep. And we may have forgotten about them by now, but they are there in subconsciousness, and they govern our behavior, they govern our judgment, and they govern what we consider true and what we consider false, and even what we consider a good argument and what we consider logical or not. And I urge you not to judge people if they seem to be utterly illogical, utterly incoherent, because this may be scripted deeply in their souls. If, for example, a little boy was lying or sitting on the laps of his father, and his father was telling him, God loves you, it's very important to obey him, it's very important to follow him, Bible is the truth, or Quran is the truth, then this person, when he grows up, may have completely forgotten these things. But these things are scripted in him so deeply, so strongly, that when he hears arguments that Bible may be wrong, and Bible is full of very, very bad things, like killing people, like genocides, like ordering to murder or rape or conquer or to give sacrifice of animals and humans to God, the person may experience so-called cognitive dissonance. He may experience real withdrawal pains, and his psyche protects him against that by just raising a red flag. That's not logical. That's not truth. That can't be truth at all. And I mentioned the hierarchy of values before. And it's very important to understand that if there are two theists, one theist has two, both of them have two values. One value is truth, another value is God and relationships with God. And they have slightly different hierarchy of values. They have slightly different priority. Person A has more value in God than in truth, and person B values truth more than God. Person A is likely to stay with God forever because he values God, in believing in God, trusting in God more than finding the truth, and his most value will protect him from doubts. He will protect him from arguments. With this thing called cognitive dissonance or withdrawal pain. The other person who values truth more than God is more likely to start questioning, to start listening. So I urge all the people to listen to each other and to think, okay, what are the values? And it's even useful to ask each other, what are your values? Do you value God more than truth? If person honestly says so, then maybe it's better not to argue and not to say you are dishonest or you're a liar or stuff like that. Maybe it's better just to talk about values, and it's a better way to understand each other, to find the common grounds. And as I mentioned, the morals can be changed throughout life, but only for those people who value change and who accept it as something good. And it's also very important that every one of us chooses to be, may choose to be an agent in generations. If you have scripts from your people, from your parents, from other people, you can change those scripts. If your family was not very loving place, if it was rude, or if your parents were critical to you, you may change that by not acting in the same way to your own kids, and you may influence many generations down the path. Let's switch to society. So we need to understand that, and it's a very good area of science now, that the morals are based on a stable system. The society has to be a stable system. And it can be studied using math and game theory. And these studies involve reciprocal altruism, kin altruism. There are mathematical models which describe how the system, how society can be in an equilibrium state. And it's being more and more studied. It gives us more and more understanding why, without any deity, without any fear of God, we are the way we are. Everyone decides to do things every day considering consequences, and it turns out that to be a good person is best for us and it's best for our people, and that's the ground of morality. And this is confirmed by studying of other animals. For example, bats, for example, wolves, other animals, social animals, behave in supporting ways. They can support the groups of the the family that were injured, or they who didn't have something to eat, and that's described by science. And our society is even more complicated, obviously, because we are so diverse, we are so clever, and we can influence our morality, we can proactively change it. And the best way to have the best morality, to have the best laws, to have the best society is free competition between ideas. And we have tradition, we have precedent, and we have laws, but if we don't have open discussion, if we don't have competition, we are more likely to stay stuck with barbaric and worse morality for longer. And it has been demonstrated times and times again in the past. And religion, as we see it, is rather a product of the society and product of our morality. It reflects what we think is right, rather than it dictates it. And there are many examples. We had societies like ancient Arabs, and it was a very interesting revelation for me that this Arab society was very, very dark. People were burying girls alive. The attitude towards women was much worse than now. And Muslims and Muhammad was a guy who tried to improve it. And actually, religion sometimes can be a way to improve morality, and it was based on that society, and it was a step ahead in some way. We have a more recent example in Mormon Church, which is based on American reality, on the desires of American people to be special, and they were very open to believing that Jesus came to America, or that Native Americans were lost tribes of Israelis. And this is why we have a lot of examples why religion is actually a product of society, and it's very, very tightly intertwined with the society and the morality of the society at a particular age in time. Societies obviously accumulate moral principles. They build on past foundation, and using more or less competition between ideas, the society is improving. It's going to a direction which is generally improving. Sometimes there are setbacks, there are dark ages, there are revolutions that turn out to be reactionary, but hopefully the more people understand that idea sharing and idea competition is good, the sooner we become an open and very advanced society, with more and more people having freedom and being protected the way they are. And now, if we look critically at any country and at the global world, we see that the traditions, the religions, are more a drag and more a ballast on the society than a driving force for improvement. This is because it's inherent in the religion. We have an old book which has things written in this book that are maybe good for that time. Maybe it was even a good step ahead for that time. But our morality evolves, and this book is outdated. But the guys who believe this book is divine say, no, we don't accept your argument. We don't accept human rights improvement. We don't accept that we can plant different seeds in one place. We don't accept that people can work on Sabbath and stuff like that, which is obviously a drag on society. And society needs to improve despite this religious old school morality, not because of it. And secular morality, as we see, is improving faster than in the countries which are very heavily reliant on the religion. And as I mentioned before, humanity generally is improving. We have very, very big numbers of individual philanthropists and companies and countries who invest a lot of resources in helping other people, other countries. All this thing is, well, most of the things, the vast majority of funds invested come from circular sources like foundation of Bill Gates, or from people like Warren Buffett and other people. They improve people's life directly. They work with fighting diseases, work with microcredits and other things that dramatically improve people's lives. And if we look at the globe, we see that the most developed and the most morally superior countries are the ones that are most secular. So concluding this presentation, I want to urge everybody, especially the guys who consider themselves not theists. We have a very, very strong base of morality, and this strong base is a whole history of humanity, is our ability to choose the best ideas. We collect them, we get them in one place, we base our laws on them. We get our ideas from our parents, and we are free to teach our people the best things, not to teach and to come up with ridiculous explanations why killing the whole towns as it's described in Bible is good, but we can give just the best commandments, the best ones which are way superior to the ones that are, for example, 10 commandments in Bible. And every one of us has this strong morality, and we have to be pretty bold about it. And as I said before, I strongly believe that secular morality is the only one true morality, and it's improving despite religious morality, not because of it. And here I'm concluding my presentation, and we'll switch to a discussion mode. We'd like to have your comments, and we'd like to have a discussion here. Thanks for your attention.